The Bud Brunch.
Pour up, roll up, let's talk. Cheers.
Welcome back to
The Bud Brunch.
I'm your co-host Lucia.
And I'm your co-host Ashley.
And welcome to another great episode of The Bud Brunch. And listen, buds, if you're new here, why don't you head on over to the homepage of our Spotify or YouTube and make sure you click that subscribe button so you do not miss another amazing episode like last week's episode where we caught up with Phil Hitchman.
Wandoose.
Yes, of Southeast Ratchet Cakes.
And Blunt Facts and Dope Uber and all the things.
And a major OG in the I-71 game. And, you know, he really took us through a journey through his experiences and all the changes and shifts to now entering into this new era of I-71.
He has definitely been there for it all from the beginning until now. But if you want to get all the deets on his episode, go back and listen to the previous episode on our YouTube and Spotify and make sure you subscribe.
The Bud Brunch on everything.
But today, Charles Newsome is pulling up to the Bud Brunch table.
So excited.
Yes. From MetroLeaf dispensary. He is a DC native, and he's been a key player in this whole transition from gifting to the legal licensed industry.
And you'll learn about his unique story and path that he has taken to get to where he is. It's definitely not a traditional path.
No, he's done a little bit of everything. I can't wait to get into his episode.
So pull up to the Bud Brunch table, buds, and roll up your J, pour up that kind of cocktail as we talk to Charles Newsome of MetroLeaf.
But before we get into the episode, Lucia, what you got over there in your glass, girl?
I have a candy jar today, and I've got some treats in it, but I can't tell you about it till we get to what's in your glass, though.
All right.
What's up? It's your girl, J Mills. Hey, don't miss the next stash. Make sure you subscribe to the Bud Brunch on YouTube and on Spotify. Pass the J.
Welcome back to Tea with Ashley, your weekly pour of what's hot in cannabis culture, medicine, industry buzz, and the headlines that's got everybody talking. Let's get into it. All right, picture this. Mike Tyson, yes, Iron Mike himself, stepping into the political arena, gloves off, not for a fight, but for federal cannabis reform. Tyson has teamed up with a coalition of athletes and entertainers like Kevin Durant, Allen Iverson, Des Bryant, Ricky Williams, and Wyclef Jean to send a public letter to Donald Trump, calling out President Biden for dropping the ball on cannabis justice. These legends want Trump to step up and reschedule cannabis from Schedule 1 to Schedule 3, grant mass clemency for people imprisoned on nonviolent cannabis convictions, and end financial red tape that keeps legal cannabis businesses out of the banking system. All reasonable requests, right? I mean, right now, cannabis is in the same category as heroin, and that's wild. I mean, despite operating legally in nearly 40 states and creating jobs for hundreds of thousands, cannabis companies still can't get loans. They're forced into cash-only operations with tax rates sometimes soaring over 85%. Tyson spoke openly about how cannabis changed his life, letting him avoid pain pills and reclaim his mental peace. But he also called out the hypocrisy, saying people are still serving decades for weed in some states, and that's just flat-ass wrong. His words, not mine. This isn't just celebrity clout. It's a direct challenge to the status quo. From the ring in the court to the Capitol, Tyson and the coalition aren't just asking for reform, they're demanding federal action. So if you've been wondering whether cannabis reform can ever shine nationally, this is your sign. These sports icons are holding the mic and demanding accountability, and it's only getting louder from here. That's your pour for this week. Stay lifted, stay tuned, and I'll catch you next time on Tea with Ashley, where I spill the tea and spark the combo. Now go sip on that. All right, buds, it's time to get into what's in your glass, the part of the show where we sip, sample, and spill on the latest cannabis and cannabis-infused treats. From flower to edibles, drinks to dabs, we're putting our taste buds to the test and letting y'all know what's really hitting and what's getting passed.
Want to be in our glass?
You know you want to.
If your product hits, whether it's drinkable, smokable, or snackable, we just might feature it on What's in Your Glass. Slide into our DMs at the Bud Brunch and let's toast to that.
Cheers. So what is that in your candy jar, Lucia?
It is an edible. It's a gummy.
It's a gummy.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a well-crafted gummy, I will say. It is an Easy Day blood orange and raspberry. Up and focus.
Troke? Is that troke?
Here, look.
Look at that bottle. What does it say? It's a troke chew.
Choke and chew? What is how much choke and chew?
Troke. So troke means that it's easily dissolvable. So instead of chewing it, you can actually put it in your cheek or under your tongue and it absorbs faster. It gets through that blood-brain barrier, so you'll feel that high a little faster.
Oh,
a little quicker.
Nice. And they're cute little sons.
Yeah.
It's so cute. And then, so it's a blood orange and raspberry. Because it's actually really two different flavors. Like the sun part is the blood orange, and then the is my that right? And the raspberry is the one is like the middle of the sun. So it's so cool. It's fun to look at. And I guess what other things does it say on the package? How much is it?
So you get 10 of them in here, and each one is 10 milligrams. So you get that 100 total. And apparently they're gluten-free and vegan-friendly.
Oh, wow.
As well.
Okay.
Yeah.
And, Charles left these for us. So they're available at MetroLeaf.
Yep. You can get them from there.
And
Nice.
but it's an upper. So up and focus, because I want to get focused because we're getting ready to get in the nitty gritty here.
Yeah, the terpenes that they have in this, the beta caryophyllene, the limonene, and the terpinolene, all those together create that entourage effect, right? And this one's specifically uplifting for focus, creativity, and it can also help with anxiety a little bit too. So it's a nice little blend. It's a nice. Don't do the song.
Nah, I can't because we don't have enough. We didn't pay enough
to sing that
to
song.
The copyrights to be able to do all that. So that's all you guys get.
But yeah, it should have you feeling,
it should have
good.
me ready to talk to Charles later on.
It should. Perfect for podcasting.
Yes. So I'm excited.
And we'll check in later.
To let this dissolve in my mouth.
Go ahead and do that. Throw it in your cheek, girl. Throw it in your cheek.
I'm Melanie, and I'm vibing with the Bud Brunch. Pour up, roll up, and let's talk.
Today, we are sitting down with Charles Newsome, COO of MetroLeaf, and a longtime advocate for equity in DC's cannabis scene. From transitioning out of the gifting era to helping shape policy that centers those impacted by the war on drugs, Charles brings decades of experience and a deep commitment to the culture. Tap in as we talk legacy, legitimacy, and what it takes to build a cannabis business that truly serves the community. We're excited to dive into his story today. Are you ready, buds? Pour up.
Roll up.
Let's talk. Blaze word alert. Our guest doesn't know it, but anytime you hear today's blaze word during this episode,
if you're 21 and over, we need you to spark something or sip your can of cocktail.
Cheers. Hit it, sip it, and stay locked in.
This episode's blaze word is Metro.
Hi, Charles.
Hey, Charles.
Hello.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you guys?
We're awesome now that you're here.
Well, thanks for having me.
So
I
excited
appreciate
to
it.
have you on here. I think you bring a great conclusion to our season 1 because of your experience in the space. Now, I don't know if many people have had experience seeing you on the I-71 scene because you were part of the licensed market. So how you and I-71 go hand in hand? Like, what is it about I-71 and Charles that has helped you be where you're at?
I mean, I think it goes beyond a little bit pre-I-71 for me.
Okay. Where did you start?
Well, I started smoking in 1994.
1994.
Freshman year of college, hit my first blunt. That was, that was just a young dude enjoying marijuana before the Go-Go's.
How did that happen though? Like, were you with friends? Did somebody?
It was.
You said college
It
too?
was college. So
Yeah.
we were in my dorm room. My roommate was a guy who went to school with me.
Okay.
So we swapped roommates illegally. They found out like
Breaking
6
rules.
months later, but I mean, so we had some buddies in, people from different states. We were all just meeting each other, and somebody was like, I got a neck. It's like, oh, all right. Like, you want to smoke? I'm like, shit. I'm in college. I'm alone now. I'm free.
Right.
I'm independent.
That's how it is.
This is gonna be my first moment of being out the house, and I don't know why I never smoked weed before.
Because I was about to say, you made it all the way to college.
I made it all the way to college.
Smoking weed? Like, that's
Crazy, right? It
Yeah,
sounds
yeah.
crazy, especially nowadays.
right.
But I made it all the way to college. None of the people that I rode with on a regular basis were weed smokers.
Yeah.
We drank. I actually drank more in my early 20s and late teens than I do now. Those were my drinking years. These are my smoking years.
Right.
The transition.
The alcohol is the accent to the weed for me. It's not the other way
Way around, yeah. After that experience, what else were you up to?
That led into my post-college adult life, and I'm a super curious person. Like I want to know facts about things, whether they're important to my life or not. Like if something pops up, I'm like, okay, I need to go down that rabbit hole. So I went down the rabbit hole with cannabis.
Yeah.
Started learning. Actually, it started with one of those black light posters from Spencer's.
The black
Like,
Spencer's.
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Ooh, you took it way back.
Yeah. So
Yeah, because I was like, what sparked that curiosity?
we got one of those for our dorm room, and it had like the Latin name for weed.
Yeah.
So I'm looking that up, seeing what the hell that means, and that just took me down a rabbit hole for years. I like all my friends. I have this one friend who I've known since I was I think 11, and he goes, yeah, I probably could have predicted this outcome in your life. Like,
He saw it coming.
You liked weed way more than we did.
Yeah.
But I just started researching stuff. It just became an obsession. I needed to know what this one did, what that one does, how does that one make me feel. I used to have a list in my phone. Every time I smoked a new strain, I would save it. And I lost that phone and lost that note. That was 11 years ago. And
So you're like a scientist.
I was up to like 312 or something like that.
Oh my goodness.
And then I lost all of it. I tried to start it over when I started working at Tacoma because there was all these new strains that I had right at my fingertips. And I was like, you missing 300 the first 300 minutes. You're not going back, just from traveling,
Right.
going to Denver and places like that. Like, oh, there's like 100 strains there that I've never seen back home,
Yeah.
So I became obsessed with that. There's different strains, where they came from, the parents of every lineage.
The lineage,
Yeah, it was a crazy thing. Now my friends used to make fun of me for it, but now
They
call me.
understand.
Right.
No, it's beyond understanding. Now some of them like, oh, hey, man, I was just talking to my aunt, and she about to do this dissertation, and she needs something to help her focus, but she cannot use Adderall because it makes her do this. And I'm like, I got her. She needs something with pinene in it. I got
love
her.
that.
I'll hook her up. So they ask me all these questions because they know I know, and now they know it actually serves a purpose. It was me being obsessive and a weed geek, but it was, it's my thing.
Yeah.
So what other things do you obsess over though? What else makes you like geek out and like go into the rabbit holes of research and studying?
Just outside of cannabis?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Electronics. Almost anything, honestly. We could have a conversation and you could bring up a term or something that I had never heard before.
And you're gonna go research
And I'll
it.
bookmark it, and when I go home, I'm like, oh, that's what that means?
Yeah.
Where'd that word come from? What's the answer? Oh, all right. So, yeah, I just get like that. I'm full of useless information.
You'd be a good trivia.
put it in
Is
a
you
different
trivia
way.
person?
Someone.
Like, can we take you to trivia and like come home with a prize? Is that?
I
Is that how much useless facts you
I
know?
would definitely be an asset to the team.
I know that's right.
And so then moving up to I-71, what were you doing when I-71 passed? Like, did you celebrate? Did you go to a party?
Actually, I knew this question was coming, so I had a prop.
And he pulls out the note.
Right.
So check this out.
Prepared.
That's that night.
The I-71
Oh,
passed?
that's you on the news.
I was at Meridian Pint.
That's the one Caroline was talking about.
Okay.
And Channel 4 was there. And they announced it on the big screen. So the reporters came out. They grabbed me. They interviewing me. And, you know, I'm shooting my spiel, you know. At that time, I was lobbying and stuff. So we were going to, like, Colorado, Georgia, going to these drug policy meetings.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I'm kicking my thing. And she goes... What I was saying, she didn't want to hear. This was like one of those, they passed a law for the potheads night. So she goes, so, okay, that's cool, everything you just said. But what are you going to do when you go home to celebrate the night? At the time, I was a salesman for DC Brow Brewing Company. And in my head, I was like, this chick trying to get me on Channel 4 News to say, I'm going to go home and light up a fat ass blunt.
Yeah, pretty much.
So I was like, no, my father's watching this.
Yep.
So I was like, I'm gonna go home and crack open a fresh 6-pack of DC Brow beer. So when I went home and watched the news that night, they cut the whole interview and they basically talked over that image.
They used your image.
For everybody listening, there was a T-shirt that was given out that night for the vote. I had on the T-shirt, and instead of doing my interview, Channel 4 talked over me and they cropped the image from the bottom of the graphic of the T-shirt to the bottom of my neck.
I was about to say, why's your head cut off?
Well, if you are tuning in on our YouTube, you can see that image. Yes. But wow. So you were there.
Yeah. So around that time, you guys know Tori, right? Tori Wallace?
Yes.
Yes. So we were rolling together.
Nice.
So we were, she was kind of teaching me how to cook with cannabis. And we were doing the lobbying thing up and down the East Coast. And
but before, and I don't want to cut you off, but when you were talking about you're doing your lobbying, like, how did you get there? Like, you went to school
just with Tori.
Just okay.
Just with Tori. It was me, her, and James. Damn, I forgot James' last name. But anyway, so it was me, her, and James, and we were like combining our superpowers together to form like this cannabis nonprofit. Part of it was lobbying. Part of it was meal planning for people who had illnesses. We would find out what was wrong with them. We would talk to them about the strains that could help alleviate the pain or the symptoms, and then we would show them how to cook with the food.
Yeah.
Instead of smoking it, we would show them how to cook with it.
I love that.
So we were doing that. Everybody had their own angle to it. Like, I was the weed geek. I was the one studying everything. And Tori had the angle into the lobbying. She had been meeting all these people. And James was the grower.
Nice.
The trifecta.
Yeah. So that's how, I got into the lobbying. And
what was your goal? Like, what was your focus when you were lobbying? What were y'all lobbying for specifically?
Drug policy reform.
Okay.
Just in general. Of course, mostly for cannabis, but it was drug policy reform.
Now, do you know anybody personally that was affected by the war on drugs?
A lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you can't be from here and that.
Yeah.
It's almost impossible.
Right. To not know anybody that was impacted on the war on drugs. Anybody personally that you like, or like that it ended up impacting your life directly?
Yeah.
Care to share?
No.
Okay, that's
I don't
fine.
want to share their story publicly.
No, that's fine. That's okay.
But yeah,
usually that's where the passion comes from. When
you see people's lives get ruined over something that.
Well, I guess without saying names, like how was their lives ruined, or how did it then turn around and impact you? Like, in what ways?
So I would say it actually impacted me in a positive way.
Okay.
You watch people go down for things and you kind of learn the lessons of what they did, how they were doing it. That's probably not the lesson you were looking for, but that's the one I learned.
Now, listen.
Yeah.
A lesson is a lesson.
Right.
I was selling weed a lot. So seeing people suffer through things and go down for certain things, you kind of learn your lesson. Like, okay, I'm gonna stay out of that lane, stay out of that lane, not do that. I was selling weed since a little bit after I hit that first blunt in college.
Oh, wow. You were like, great product. Time to hit the market with it. Okay.
Yeah, we our dorm room, you could get a nick, a dime, a dub, and we also had Phillies, Optimos.
Yeah.
You have the ancillary products.
Right.
So entrepreneurship is just in your
that's
blood.
in you, right? You saw a good product. You were like, hey, we could do something with this.
Yeah, I remember one day we would come home every weekend to, re-up or whatever. And I remember going, dude, they sell the boxes of blunts at CVS.
Light bulb.
I did the math on per blunt. Like, we sell them joints for 50 cents a piece. We go back to school. We good. Then we make that one-stop shop. Or else you had to walk off campus to go to the
and
store.
why?
Yeah.
Because you can come back faster if you just deal with us directly. Nice. So you're at the event and you said, I'm sorry, now we're back to that with you and Tori.
Yeah. That was probably my only really angle as far as being parallel to the I-71 movement. I jumped into Tacoma Wellness to learn how to run a dispensary.
Okay.
Gotcha.
That's the reason I went to work there. I was still working at DC Brow. I was working part-time at both.
Got it.
But I wanted to learn how to work a dispensary, so that was going to be the next step in our plan to build our brand. So,
That's smart.
Yeah.
That's so smart.
Right. Because I would say you were around, but you weren't part of the I-71
Exactly.
scene. So a lot of people may not know you, but a lot of people do know of you and your contributions to that.
Yeah.
How was your experience on the license side, especially knowing so many people on the I-71 side?
I think it was good for the I-71 scene because I was able to say what the other side of the argument was. And being on the legal side, I understood both ends, at least at Tacoma, because we talked about it a lot. And they knew that I was plugged in with the people. I was like, these are my friends. So the biggest issue they had was the inequity in taxes,
Right.
price of product, those type of things. When I left Tacoma, I had a staff of like 45. I say 40 of those were bud tenders, 5 were managers. I had to pay $100 a year for the managers, and I think $75 a year for each of those 40 employees.
For what? What do you mean pay?
That was for their, we have to, these things.
For their badges.
Gotcha.
We have to have a badge to work at a licensed
What's that?
dispensary.
From the Department of Health?
Yeah, and this expires
Every year.
Every 12 months.
Gotcha.
So if you work for me for 20 years, I've bought you a badge 20 times. So,
That's highway robbery.
And that was one of the issues. Like, they have this many employees, I have this many employees, I have to pay this much a year to have them. They don't. My customers have to pay 6% tax. Theirs don't. Even on the tax returns, you're paying tax as a t-shirt store. I'm paying the taxes and the licensing fees.
The 280Es.
Yes. And then on the other side, the I-71 side, there was just the feeling of the inequity. The average person didn't get a fair shot when those licenses initially came out. I couldn't have got a license that first go round.
Yeah.
And it's especially the way DC did it.
Right.
Tacoma paid rent for, I think, like 13 months before they sold the first eighth out of that joint.
And who can realistically afford that?
Exactly. And that was my worry this time around.
Right.
We kind of got lucky with the real estate aspect of it because I know a lot of people had a problem.
Oh, absolutely.
Right now.
Yeah.
But we got lucky. One of our partners had a spot.
Okay.
The one on Upshur. That used to be a laundromat. We took over the lobby of the laundromat. The plan was to sell all the laundry machines and expand. When we switched to medical, we would expand the dispensary to the back, and the part that was a dispensary then would be the lobby, like it was for the laundromat. But foot traffic on Upshur was horrible. The biggest draw up there was Slash, Run, and the Hitching Post. And neither one are just huge draws. I mean, the Hitching Post would get their place, but they didn't open till like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Slash Run was a night spot,
Right.
you know, and their main crowd was Friday night, Saturday night, and we were closed. So we had to get out of there. One of my partners lived on 14th Street. He lives right across the street from our shop at that time. And he's like, a weed shop opened up across the street from me. It's like, all right. And then like 2 weeks later, he's like, they stopped opening the door. He's like, I'm gonna find the landlord and figure out what's going on. So apparently they just stopped coming. I don't know what happened. But they just stopped coming and opening the shop. And the landlord was like, all right, look, I can't get in touch with them and they haven't been coming, so you want the spot?
It's yours.
It's yours.
Nice.
Wow.
So the display cases we have in there.
Everything.
It was already set up.
Yeah, we gave the landlord, like he just wanted to make up some of the money he missed from the non-paid rent. So we paid maybe 50 cents, 25 cents on the dollar for all the display cases that were in there. So we just had to move our stuff in. And there was weed and
Left there. They left
So
everything.
they literally just left.
I had a flat screen TV,
Wow.
security cameras, like
Oh my goodness.
everything was left there.
Yeah.
There were weed displays. I turned all the weed down because I was like, I don't know how long that shit
Right.
been in. So.
Put you to sleep. Put you straight to sleep.
But yeah, it was. We got that. When I say we got lucky real estate wise, we absolutely got lucky. We had a leg up.
Just to be clear, you were working at a licensed dispensary at the early days of I-71. And then when you are talking about these stores, are you licensed at this time or are you now a part of the I-71 gifting stores?
On Upshur, we were I-71.
So you left the licensed market and entered into the I-71 market.
Probably close to a year before. Actually, it was exactly a year.
Okay.
Yeah, I left Tacoma at the end of February the year before that, and then I went there the next year. We opened April 2nd.
So was that part of your plan, or is this? Because that seems a little risky. Like you literally left.
That actually was not my
licensed market to go to the
That was not my plan.
Yeah.
When I left Tacoma, I guess to jump back a little bit when I was talking about the team, me, Tori, and James, that ended up kind of breaking apart. So I was at Tacoma to learn how to run a shop so we can execute our plan, but then the team kind of splintered. Tori lives in Georgia now. James is still in the area. I see him every now and then. I bump into him. But that team splintered. Yeah. So then it was just me at Tacoma. And I had been there for like 5 years at that point, you know. Went from part-time employee to the general manager. And it got to a point where I was like, you know, I never wanted to work retail again. Most of my life I've managed a retail store, whether
so you had that
cell
experience.
phones or whatever. So I had that experience, and I got to the point I was like, dude, when I left Sprint, I said I was never doing this shit again.
And look at you now.
And now I did it again because it was weed.
Right.
And I wanted to learn it. I think I've learned it. It's time to roll and figure out something else to do. I just wanted to get my weekends back, my nights and weekends back, you know, figure out a new path. And I was never going to figure out a new path for myself running somebody else's business. It occupied all of my thoughts, all of my energy, and all of my time.
Well, I will say this, you were good at it.
I appreciate
That store
that.
was jumping all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got a good operation over there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then I got a call. I was visiting my cousin in Georgia, and I got a call like, "You're not working right now, right?" Like, no. So DC Council just passed this law that if you have a gifting shop open as of 12/31/2023, they'll give you a path to legalization in 2024. I was like, okay. And he's like, a buddy of mine just got a little bit of money and he's trying to open up a new business with it in DC. His cousin's got a laundromat that isn't operating anymore. We can put a weed shop in there. And I'm like, oh.
So it all just kind of fell together.
And not yet. So it basically said, we don't really know what we need to do. So we were wondering if we could pay you to be a consultant to get us started. So, cool. So we had a meeting. I met both of the cousins, and they basically said, instead of being a consultant, would you take some equity and just join the team?
I surely would.
I was like, equity for just my thoughts and my sweat? Absolutely. Absolutely.
No brainer.
Where do I sign?
Yeah. So, and that was all a journey.
And that's interesting though, because some people will look at that and be like,
Equity.
right, like, or like, you're not going to pay me, basically, you know?
You
You gotta see the bigger picture.
Look,
Yeah.
no, of course
You
not.
know where it's
That's how
going.
we
You know
got
where it's
here,
going.
guys.
You know, there's always that story. I forget which shoe brand it was. Hey, was it Magic? I think it was Magic Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
I could be wrong though. Let's just say an old basketball player from the 80s.
Okay.
I think
One
it might
of
have
them.
been Magic.
One of them.
I think it was Magic, but they offered equity rather than like that huge signing bonus, and he turned it down. And looking, now 2020 is like,
Should have taken the equity.
Could have had all that stock in Nike when it was broke,
Right.
and to now, So I knew, and it was a no lose.
Facts.
I joined this team, and the business folds. I did nothing but work.
Right.
And I tried. And this is what I was working toward. And it just fell in my lap. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like I went to Tacoma to learn how to run a shop.
And now one fell into
And
it.
then I kind of backed away from it, and then bam, here it is. So I was at the bottom of the group. And then there's been many different iterations of our ownership group. But I'm one of the main owners now.
Nice.
Instead of the bottom guy.
Nice.
You've gained more equity.
Yeah.
Nice. And so for, I guess, somebody who's on the fence and thinking about taking such a risk, and obviously they can't go the same route because, we're in the new era of I-71, and medical licensing is in the forefront. I guess, what would you say to somebody who has been considering joining the legal cannabis market? And it could be anywhere. It doesn't necessarily have to be in DC, from all of your experience.
Is the same, no matter where it is, honestly. I know DC has their own challenges right now.
Right.
But the main questions are always going to be the same if you want to join the legal marijuana market.
Do you recommend it?
That depends on how they answer my questions. First question would be, why do you want to get into the marijuana market? And if it's to be rich, to hit the green rush or whatever, that does not fucking exist. Like, no.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
Do
So
not
what's your
get a
motivation?
license unless you are in this for the long haul.
Right.
This is a long game.
Yeah.
I have every belief that this company would probably be most profitable when I am ready to turn it over to someone else, but I want to build that. If you're in it to build something, and if you're in it because you actually love the plant, it goes back to working in the industry that you love what you do. I don't have to get filthy rich working in the cannabis industry. I just need to make a good life, but I'm happy going to work every day. I love talking to people about cannabis.
Same.
And I think that shows in my shop, and I think that's bled into my employees.
Yeah.
Our regular customers come in because they can come in and if we're not busy, they can just sit there and lean on the counter for 15 minutes and we talk about life.
Right.
I probably already know what they want,
Right.
because we learn our customers. That's one of the main things that I've driven to the employees of our shop, is that our main selling point is us. There's a million shops. People are going to come to the one that they feel most comfortable and the most welcomed in. We may not have a menu with 300 things on it, but they might just come in because, I have a bartender named Derica. Somebody may get in their head, I'm gonna go get a bag today. I haven't seen Derica in a while. I'm gonna go see Derica.
Yeah.
And people come in there and they see me. Some of them see me and go, "Where's Derica? Where's Whitney?" And I'm like, "Okay,
I'm here.
I'm here."
Right.
And then there's people that come looking for me. And each of my employees, I get compliments on them on their days off all the time. When somebody goes, where are they? Oh, well, I love them. They're great.
That's a reflection of great leadership, and I say that all the time.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, that's definitely a reflection of how you treat them is how they treat the people that walk through the door. And not only that, they value where they work at. It's not just a job for them. It's part of the experience. It's making sure that people have a good time.
That's very important. And I think, not trying to piggyback off that and pat myself in the back, but
That's okay.
I've spent my life picking from all of my managers and supervisors.
Yeah.
You know, everybody had positives. A lot of them had lots of negatives.
Negatives, yeah.
You know, but it all helped me, you know, learn how to treat people, learn what motivates your staff. Because all workers are not motivated by money.
True.
You know, you have a lot of people at your jobs randomly. I know the people listening, this is going to, resonate with you. There are people at your job that you're like, how long you been here? Why are you still doing this?
Yeah.
Like, shouldn't you be my boss now? But there's people who fall in love with what they're doing, or they get to a comfort zone and they're like, I'm good here.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes that's a bad thing, but it all depends on the person. Some people just get complacent, but some people are just legitimately
Love
fucking
what
happy.
they do. Yeah.
They're just happy. And, you have to create that atmosphere because you want some of those employees. You want 8 out of your 10 employees to be motivated by money and advancement. But you need that 20 to 30% that just love the job.
Yeah.
And wouldn't go anywhere if somebody paid them double. You know what I mean? They just love it here. Like, you're going to pay me more, but I won't be happy with you.
Yeah.
You know, I can't come to you 30 minutes before work and just cry and lay my life on you. You know what I mean? You have to have that family atmosphere. And like I said, 20 to 30% of your staff have to be that way. But the majority, you want them to want the money and advancement because they're going to work for that.
They're hungry.
But those people create an atmosphere that's prosperous.
Right.
But that 20 to 30%, they do it too, but they do it for different reasons. Like, they'll make sure the glass is clean and the display is straight.
They add to the culture.
Just because that's their pride.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I love it here. This is my job. This is my house. And, there's a smudge. You know, but that guy who you count on to make the most profit doesn't give a damn if there's fingerprints on it.
Does not care.
Right. But speaking of like the balance, what about your personal life? How has now being this owner going from managing to owning, which managing took up a lot of your time. Now I'm pretty sure owning doesn't give you as much grace, but how is that balancing your personal life, your father,
so
soon to be husband?
My son is in Italy. So very little parental guidance needed from me.
Well, you didn't wake up and he was
gone.
in Italy.
He's been gone for a while.
Yeah.
He's in the Air Force.
Okay.
So my son's been on his own for the past 6 years.
Nice.
Almost.
Okay, good for you.
And he was, when we were talking about Sagittarius earlier, and I used him as the example, like, my son is totally self-sufficient. He's been that way since he was like 1 year old.
Nice.
You know? So when he calls me because he misses me and he wants to talk to me. He doesn't call me because he needs his dad or he needs advice. He's very wise for his age.
Yeah.
So I've lost a lot of my parental responsibilities since he's joined the Air Force. Which is a little sad, but it's
more
okay.
freedom.
He's prospering, so I'm good with it.
Okay.
If he wasn't calling me for advice and I see him over there screwing up, but I'm like, he's got something figured out. Like we raised him right. Me and his mom did a good job. His mom did a great job. I give her a shout out. You know, she was the custodial in the situation. She did a great job. I think we both did a great job. I give her a lot of credit because she had him the majority of the time. But yeah, he's a super well balanced kid. Shout out to Jalen.
Nice.
He's about to be here too on the 20th, so he's going to hear this. So I had to throw that in there.
Yay.
But as far as work-life balance, I would say fairly recently I've gotten more of a balance going. It's not 50-50, but again, shout out to my staff who have worked pretty hard to make it so I don't have to work 7 days a week anymore, which is how we started the shop. which was expected. I knew that. I was like, I'm gonna be here every day, open and close. I was there 2 hours before them and probably an hour after they left every day, 7 days a week. But they notice that, they see that, and they try to take stuff off my plate. One of my employees last week kind of got on me because I made a new menu and I made a typo. And she was like, see, that's because you do too much. Oh. And I'm like, what?
That's the family part. That's the family part you were talking about.
And she's like, you try to do too much stuff by yourself. You need to let us help you, Charles. And I'm like, all right. But that's my nature, though.
As an Aries, I can see why that would be difficult.
I mean, my dispensary is my baby.
Yeah.
That's my baby.
And the name of your dispensary now is?
All right, buds, can y'all give me a minute? A medical minute, that is. I'm your favorite cannabis educator, and I'm here to shed new light on what's happening in the world of medical cannabis and to set the record straight on the myths, the facts, and everything in between. Now listen, this one's for the folks living in pain every day. The ones who can't sleep, can't work, can't even get through a grocery run without wincing. We're talking chronic pain, especially low back pain, which just so happens to be the most common kind of pain in the world. And for too long, opioids have been the go-to answer, but at what cost? Every day, people's lives are being derailed, ruined by opioid addiction. Pills that were meant to bring relief have left families grieving, jobs lost, futures stolen. And for what? A short-term fix with long-term consequences? But now, something new is on the horizon. It's called VER-01, a non-addictive cannabis-based painkiller that just passed a phase 3 clinical trial with over 800 patients and is showing real promise, not just in easing pain, not just in helping folks sleep better, but doing it without the high, without the risk of addiction, and without the respiratory or digestive issues that come with opioids. This isn't me freestyling. Search, now this is a long one, NCT 049-40741 on clinicaltrials.gov and see for yourself. This is real research, real science. VER-01 is a full spectrum cannabis extract with low THC and no intoxicating effects. In the trial, it helped people with chronic low back pain get through their day and their night with fewer side effects than what most of us have in our medicine cabinets. Now, why does it matter? Because chronic pain affects 1.5 billion with a B people worldwide. Because opioids only truly work for about 30% of them, and the rest are just rolling the dice. Because cannabis isn't about getting high, it's about hope, about options, about rewriting the narrative around what relief can look like, especially for the folks who've tried everything else. That's your dose of facts for this week's Medical Minute with your favorite cannabis educator. Keep questioning, keep learning, and catch me next week for more. And if you want to dive deeper into the medical cannabis topics that matter to you, hit me up on cannabisashley.com.
And the name of your dispensary now is?
MetroLeaf.
MetroLeaf. Okay.
We were Fort 20, probably when you first saw us.
Okay.
We were Fort 20. That's still our company name, but we're doing business as MetroLeaf.
Hold on, the name of the dispensary was 420?
Fort
20. I love that.
So tell us about MetroLeaf. How did you come up with it? Because I'm obsessed with this logo. It's the MetroLeaf with the Metro, DC Metro map.
So the name
was
just, we were just throwing stuff out. Like everybody came up with a list of like 20 things. ChatGPT probably came up with a list of 50.
Shout out to ChatGPT.
Catch it up. Love it.
We went through what we wrote, what they wrote, what she wrote, what it wrote, and we just played around and combined things. I always wanted something slightly DC centric, but not too DC centric. And Metro fit that perfectly. And then it was a matter, there was already a Metro Wellness. So we couldn't go that route. And then I didn't want to go wellness because I came from Tacoma Wellness.
Right.
So I was like, they probably already think I'm going to copy everything they were doing in the first place. So I was like, I don't want the name to sound too familiar.
Yeah.
So we landed on MetroLeaf. And dead honest with you, I did not like it at first.
It grew on you?
It took about 2 weeks.
Pun
and
intended.
I was finally like, I kind of like it.
Okay.
But we got to do capital M, capital L. But I like it. Now the logo with the leaf and the Metro map, that was me trying to figure out sellable merch. I was like, we need to get a shirt that we can put in here and sell. I need a shirt. There was an article in the Washington Post last 420. It was my shop Monco, and Green Theory. They did a profile on all three of us. People thought that Monco's shop was our shop because the way the article went, and then they threw a picture of the owner of Monco, and he was holding up a shirt. And people were coming to our shop
Looking for
to
that
buy the
shirt.
shirt because of the way the wording went and the placement of the picture.
Yeah.
At that point, I was like, we need a shirt. I was selling my buddy's shirt, Head Rock. He had, he's got a line of stuff, Black Rock Star Superhero. So we were selling those shirts, and another buddy of mine has a line of shirts, Shoulda Took Half. One of the designs is an astronaut floating in space because he ate too much.
Nice.
Got it.
But we didn't have a MetroLeaf shirt. At least not one that somebody wanted to buy. Like we had basic white.
I would buy that. I would wear that.
I
love that.
it, isn't it?
I love
so
it.
cool.
I will get you guys some shirts.
Thank you.
But yeah, so I came up with that, trying to figure out something that would sell, and I was just going over designs in my head, and I was like, because we had that design already, the leaf with the Metro. And I was like, what if we threw the Metro map behind it? So a buddy of mine, he's a designer, he played around with it. And I was like, I like it, but I need you to slide the Metro map down because it has to show the Columbia Heights and Petworth.
Okay, because I was about to
that's
say,
where you
are your
are.
stops on
Yeah.
there?
Yeah. So we got some more shirts coming real soon. And
You should put,
they're
like,
all gonna
label
be
it
kinda
where
like that.
the stops are. You should put like MetroLeaf, like where those stops are.
You are here.
You know, that was part of the original idea.
Okay.
But it got to the point where I was like, all right, I'm gonna make you do too much because if I keep thinking about this shirt,
Right.
we were never gonna print it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's how I'm
It's like
kinda
that.
with stuff. Yeah. So I was like, all right, dude, let's go. And it took off. I was very happy. I'm horrible at design. I'm not that guy.
You can't tell by the shirt.
I can consult you on how to build your business, how to customer service. Customer service is my thing. If anything is my superpower, it's customer service. I can talk to you about a lot of things about business. But if you go, okay, what about the look of the store? I'm like, fuck about that.
That's not your forte.
I have no clue.
Know
That's
your
probably the first
strengths.
thing that I ever tried to design, and it was good.
All right.
And
It's great.
And
Not
honestly,
just good, it's great.
Yeah, I love that shirt. I
And
love
it
that
could go
sticker.
anywhere, you know, if you guys open a MetroLeaf Atlanta, if they ever, you know, have stores, dispensaries, you can put anybody's Metro behind that leaf. So it's a dope design.
I appreciate that.
So what were your biggest lessons from transitioning, or like from working at a licensed place versus working I-71 and now here? I guess what would be the biggest lessons that you've learned from those, working in those different spaces?
Well, I hated working at 71. First off,
Why?
I did not. And if you ever talk to my partners, they'll tell you the whole time. Like I was like, I'm ready for this to be over. Like, because it wasn't my thing. You know what I mean? Like I sold weed on the side, at home, at college.
Yeah.
That was for money. Like I said, I got into the dispensary thing and I became obsessed with marijuana because of the science of it, the healing of it. It wasn't, let me go to the store and have 1,000 people come to the shop and go, I need that gas.
Right.
Which one is that gas? And I'm like, I did not enjoy that shit, you know? And I think my employees I kept preaching to them, do not get comfortable with this. Because as soon as we switch,
It's going to be different.
somebody's gonna come in here and tell you their hip hurt, or they have phantom limb. Like,
So your customer base changed
it absolutely
when you
did.
went from I-71
Now
to
I
medical.
still have like a lot of our regulars now were our regulars at I-71. We have a lot of good people in the neighborhood that support us, and I love them. And if they hear this, I love you guys. Keep
Yeah.
coming. But we still have the mainstays that we have people that come. We have certain customers that come every day. That's why I tell you. Sometimes I think they're visiting us.
Right.
You know, you can buy two.
You're part of their
Actually
daily
like to
routine.
come-
You can buy 2 pre-rolls today, one today, one tomorrow. But you choose to buy one today and then buy one tomorrow, and we love it. You
Right.
know?
Yeah.
But now, like, people are Googling places, and the people who use marijuana medically intentionally are looking up the shops and looking at the websites. And that's how they're deciding where to go. And there's two types of shops in the city now. And I mean licensed, not the leftovers. I mean just licensed. There's still two different types. You still have recreational marijuana dispensaries and you still have medical dispensaries. Just because some of these shops have licenses
does not make them medical.
It does not make them medical. And I don't shop at these places because I have my own, you know, I have inventory. I don't need to go buy weed from you.
Right.
But I might, if I know you, I might stop at the shop. But anyway, that's not my point. I'm not saying this because I've gone in places and been like, oh shit, you know, they still doing this bullshit. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. But I mean, I think it's just an obvious thing. You know, some of these places did not all of a sudden hit that switch and go, you must, yesterday you knew shit about terpenes, but today you know everything. You know all the cannabinoids now. You know how to treat somebody who has phantom limb. You know if somebody has epilepsy or this or that. You know, depending on what blood thinner they're on, whether they can use CBD or not. That's not something that people, I know all the dispensaries didn't make that.
It's not important to them. Yeah.
And it may not be important to their customer base, you know, which is great. If that is how you are profiting, I do not knock that. It's just never been my passion. You know, my partners would probably love to have the McDonald's of marijuana in DC. They probably would.
Just in and out. Volume.
And I would love to still have equity, but I wouldn't want to be the chief operating officer. I don't want to be responsible for operations every day because it's not something that I'm going to love doing. You know, I want to stay as an owner and profit off of it, but somebody else will run that shit. I like the healing part of it. I like the community part of it.
I love that you stand 10 toes down on that. You're like, if that's not the mission, if the medicinal side is not the mission, I don't want to be a part of it.
Nah, I mean,
that's important.
I'm almost 50.
Yeah.
I've spent a lot of my life working jobs that I did not like that shit.
Right? 50 where?
That's what I'm saying. Y'all can't see it, but black don't crack. Okay?
When he said he was going to college in 94, I was like, oh, wait a minute. Let me add, subtract, multiply, and divide.
I'm 50 in April.
Wow.
Yeah. I've spent my time working jobs for money and hated waking up and doing that shit.
Yeah.
I don't have to do that anymore. I think I've built enough skills and a little bit of a resume that I can go somewhere and get a job that I actually like the job. You know, and if I want to be the dispensary in DC that you can come to for healing, that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
The other side of it just isn't attractive to me. Now I might shop there, you know. I'm not going there because I have an illness or some symptoms that I want relief from. So I can shop at the shop that people don't really have the medical knowledge of the plant in. But there's a lot of people in the city that need that. And I saw it at Tacoma. Like there's a lot of people that need that. Like, people think Tacoma's great because they have the biggest menu. And that's part of it. But most people shop at that joint because they just love being in there. They love going there. And you can see, if you've been there, you've seen how busy they are.
Yeah.
So the fact that people still love that atmosphere, even though it's an in and out joint right now. Like, there's 50 people waiting behind you, sir. Like, we can't talk about every train on the damn menu. There was a time when we did that at Tacoma. I went as employee number 14 and I left with 45 employees under me.
Wow.
So, but I want to be that shop that the neighborhood loves, the neighborhood supports, because they know we support them back and we're there for them. That's our goal, you know. I guess it would be great to be the number one shop in DC, but that's not my goal.
No, I saw an interview that you did and you said that your goal wasn't to take over DC, you wanted to take care of your neighborhood.
Yeah.
And I thought that was very...
So how does MetroLeaf give back to the community? Like what are some of the events or initiatives that you guys are?
So beforehand, we haven't, in our latest iteration, the medical license part, we have not jumped back in yet because we don't have the capital to help the people yet. But we were on Upshur. We were part of the neighborhood cleanups. Nick, who had the laundromat spot, is now Nick's Pizza.
Thanks.
But
So from a laundromat to a cannabis shop to a pizza spot.
At one point, it was going to be both.
A laundromat and a pizza spot?
So Nick had a restaurant in the Palisades, right across the street from where Green Theory is. And he and his family closed the restaurant down. Mm-hmm. They had a brick oven. They had a brick pizza oven in there. He took the pizza oven out, put it on a trailer, and hitched it to his truck. So we would have parties at the dispensary on Upshur where he would pull the truck into the alley, and we would have pizza.
Nice.
We would have pizza parties.
Genius.
Like J Mills did when she did one of those. She used to do those bus tours to dispensaries. Yeah. When that bus came to our shop, we had a pizza truck in the back.
Oh, that's so cool.
At home, I made up a bunch of infused garlic butters so people could drizzle over his pizza. So yeah, so we used to help with the neighborhood.
You know I love pizza.
I love pizza. Oh my God! Now we have to have this.
So we used to help with neighborhood cleanup up there.
Yeah.
And we would bring out the pizza oven and cook pizza for all the volunteers.
Oh, nice. That's so cool.
And we'll start doing similar stuff in our new spot.
Right.
I just needed to nail down what we're doing now.
Yeah.
But my partner, Steve, he got this leaf blower. And he's constantly out on 14th Street. Like, cleaning the sidewalk out for us and all the restaurants on our block.
Nice.
And that's what you do. You take care of your community. The community takes care of you.
Right.
So.
Some people are obviously recreational in the way that they carry their business. And some people are medical. But aren't y'all all selling the same shit? Like, don't y'all all get the same stuff from the same growers?
Selling the same shit.
So every new licensee has the same products.
Even the legacy. We can only buy from licensed cultivators and licensed manufacturers within District of Columbia city limits.
So when people come to you, they're really coming to you because of who you are.
They love you. Yeah.
Because
that's how you have to build it. Yeah. And then, you get the few people that's there for convenience. They walk past. Mm-hmm. They would go, oh, I want Smoke a J. Oh, shit, there's a weed shop right here. But we do have some destination folks. We need more of those. But those would just be like the add-ons, the cream on top of the regulars. Our neighborhood folk. Yeah. The people who can just walk out their house and hit us within the 3-block radius. That's my core. And once we solidify that and we lock our neighborhood down, everything else will be gravy. We can do that. We have delivery, so we can deliver anywhere in the city. But my focus is on the southern tip of Petworth and the northern tip of Columbia Heights.
And are you guys allowed to do outreach to the neighborhood to let them know that you're here and you're licensed? Is APCA doing anything to educate?
You sort of can. Mm-hmm. When we were on Upshur, we did a mail campaign where we just pulled all the addresses from the neighborhood and mailed postcards to them.
Okay.
Slightly okay, slightly not.
Mm-hmm. I got you.
You're using the federal mail system to sell a federal illegal product. So we made a sort of innocuous postcard.
Is there anything that you wanted to talk about that you haven't touched on yet?
June 28th, we're actually having our grand opening celebration. Further advice to somebody who's thinking about joining the industry.
Right.
Just like I said, make sure you're not trying to get rich immediately. It's not a quick profit.
Mm-hmm. Because most people out here that run into, they're like, I want to own a dispensary. I'm like, well, there's more parts to the industry than that. And do you really want to limit yourself?
It's got to be
by doing that, because and you're on the right path because you have the goal of selling, and that's. Mm-hmm. Honestly, what most people need to do, especially when that federal bubble bursts and you have the interstate commerce and you have your MSOs just pretty much sweeping up the whole market. You get your Walmarts of weed and, your CVSs and all those, large, major, big box retailers that are pretty much going to wipe out a lot of the people that spent a lot of their money, their hard-earned dollars and time to really build the industry to what it is today.
Yeah, that's one of the obstacles now. And I've discussed this with my partners. I told them the longer we're in this, the competition is going to shrink. And I told them that in the beginning when the licensing came out. They're like, oh, you see how many licenses were approved? I was like, about 10% of those are actually going to open. We're not going to have 60 cultivators in DC. There's not space for 60 cultivators.
Right. First
There's
of
also
all,
not 60 cultivators who have the money to open a
second of
cultivation
all,
center.
right.
The real estate part was just ridiculously hard, especially for cultivators.
Yes.
Yeah. Me and my partner are real estate agents. So we knew firsthand how difficult that part was going to be, getting the real estate. So, and the other piece of advice I would give is you have to sit down and decide whether you're prepared or willing to go all in. Because the cost of this industry requires that, unless you're just filthy rich or you have a lot of backing behind you. You're either going to have to you're going to a lot of loan debt, or you're going to spend a lot of your savings. And you need to be prepared for that. And you need to be prepared to not get that money back super fast.
Or at all.
Or at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of us are going to crash out. I say a lot of us.
Right.
I'm including myself in
Right.
that. A lot of us are going to crash out.
You are not.
It's a matter of when, not if. That 400 feet rule is not going to matter after a couple years because there won't be enough of us to violate it.
And explain what the 400 feet rule is.
We have to be that far apart
from each other. Like
shop.
a store can't be like literally right next to each other.
Yeah.
And so where's MetroLeaf now? Now you guys are licensed, but how has the operating been going? And is everybody officially on the licensed operating market now that has their doors open?
You mean, are there any more I-71s out?
Pretty much. I mean, like most of the dispensaries are they more than likely to be medical than an I-71 at this point in the game?
I think so. Especially any ones that are out there like with a sign, letting you know what they are. Now there are, I guarantee there's still some shops out there, and they may not be that bold. Well, they're bold because they're still going, but you may not know what they do just by looking at the store or going in. You got to ask for something specific, say a password or something. Who knows? But I'm pretty sure there's still some floating out there that still have a license. They're still there, and it probably always will be. That's probably not going to go to zero.
Right. It's the new black market.
Yeah. The ratio initially was ridiculous, what it was to 200 plus shops versus what? 8. It was like 8. Yeah. That ratio was ridiculous.
Yeah, it was insane.
It'll probably never get like that again. It'll probably be kind of in the reverse. There's going to be 20 of us and maybe 6 of them,
Yeah.
But you're gonna have your delivery companies and your internet retailers and stuff that are still flying under the radar.
And how does that, I guess, impact you guys? Are you cool with that? I mean, is there enough of the market for you all to be okay?
There's definitely enough of the market for us to be okay. And that's why when you heard that speech I did, that was at that was during Cannabis Unity Week. And there was Latinos in Cannabis Mixer at the 18th Street Lounge that we sponsored. Shout out to Mota Glass in California. But that was the purpose of my speech. There were other business owners in there, and I just wanted to let them know that we're all going to survive if we're one. If all of us are out here with the purpose of taking over DC with our store, we're just going to kill each other and possibly kill yourself. You're going to crush your own business.
Right?
Yeah. But if we just focus on the fact that we need to stay relevant and stay alive and stay open, there's enough weed smokers in DC and people with illnesses in DC.
And people that come visit too.
That we can all keep a staff, we can all pay our rent, and we can all pay our, we can all take care of ourselves. We can eat.
Yeah.
None of us are going to be billionaires or millionaires. All of us can't reach that.
Right.
But we should all have profitable businesses. And I think that's where everybody's mindset should be. Take care of where you are. Once the market settles out and some of the shops go away, and there's not...
Because that will happen.
It's going to happen.
Yeah.
Then you can concentrate on taking the customers from the spots that left. But nobody's going to own all 4 quadrants in the city, and nobody's immediately going to be a Tacoma Wellness. They built that up for a while. It's been
Right.
double-digit
weren't
years.
they the first?
So it was
the first?
There's 2 dispensaries that claim to be the first.
Okay.
And there's 2 distinctions. I think one is the first to open the door and one was the first to actually sell a bag, if I'm not mistaken. I think both of them claimed to be first.
Okay.
Tacoma was definitely one of them.
Yeah.
I don't remember which. But yeah, we all need to focus on ourselves,
right?
And we all need to build up, and just build your client base from where you are, and then expand outward. But if everybody tries to expand outward now, and it's kind of like I collect on the side. I sell collectibles and stuff like that. And there's an issue there where people undercut each other. You know, this particular thing is worth $60.
Right. You can sell it.
But I'm gonna sell it for $45.
Yeah.
You know, way below value. And that's the type of thing that people can start to do with these dispensaries. You know, we all have our prices online right now. And, you know, it's going to be crabs in a barrel. People trying to climb to the top, and somebody's going to go my way to climb to the top and sell everything way less than what you do. And for what we pay for it, that's going to be a bad business model.
Yeah.
But we just need to stay away from all of that. None of us need to try to shut any other ones down right now. We all need to unify, share information.
Put some value to the market, to the medical market. Because how are people handling this? Because this is a transition, right?
Yeah.
You went from people that literally walking into your store, you know, I'm not sure, and don't quote me on this in the entire process, but essentially showing their ID, and you're verifying that they're of age, and, you know, they purchase what they want. And now you're part of this medical program. What is that like for the consumer?
I'm going to answer that question. I'm also give a gripe.
We love a good gripe.
You just brought up something that's a pain in my ass every day that I'm there. So you come in now, you show your ID to my security guard. They verify, they look, they see it's who you are. And then they allow you to come into the dispensary proper. You come in, if you don't have a card already, then I have QR codes set up around the store. You can scan it with your phone. It'll pop up the application immediately. You fill that out, take a selfie, take a picture of your ID, submit it. Theoretically, in about 30 to 45 seconds, DC has emailed you back with a 30-day temporary card. If you have a card already, then you come in, you pull that up on your phone, you give me your ID, I build a profile for you in my POS system. Now, if you didn't have a card, I gave you the QR code, you're doing that. Once it's complete, then I take your ID and your phone and build your sales profile. Subsequent visits, you just come in, and if you're already been there before, I get your name, your ID. I already got you in the system. Cool. My gripe. Now that system's not too hard. We've kind of gotten comfortable with it. The QR codes helped a lot. Like instead of me dealing with you while there's somebody behind you who's already been before and they want to buy something, I can tell you, step to the side, hit this QR code. It's going to take you like 45 seconds to fill out this application. But in that 45 seconds, I'm helping my regular.
Right. Efficiency.
The problem is, did you get a 30-day card? You knew about it. Did you have one?
I just had to renew. So I've gone through the process.
How many 30-day cards have you had?
2.
That's on the small side.
Okay.
I have customers who own like their 4th or 5th 30-day card.
Why are they getting the permanent one?
Yeah, you don't get a permanent card.
I got a permanent
You're
one.
supposed to.
They're not getting them.
They're not getting them. I had 2 30-day cards before I got my permanent card. And what they're going to do is, when you get your permanent card, it's going to be tied to the number from that first one you did in the beginning. They're going to skip over the ones you did after
subsequently.
That. So I actually reached out to APCA. And I was like, look, there's so many people coming in here that their 30-day expired, which causes a backup for us because now I got to send you back to the QR code.
Yep.
And they go, okay, email us the information whenever this happens. So I was like, you want me to email?
Every time.
You want me to email you all of them? Cool. I don't email everyone. I just have them get a new card. But I email just enough of them because I'm trying to get on their nerves.
That's what you got to do.
Like
because essentially that's the registration process. They're now putting that on you.
Yeah.
And that's not cool.
It's not cool from that standpoint. And it's also not cool from another standpoint, which is the current political climate we're in.
Right.
I lost a customer. I haven't seen this lady since this particular day that I'm about to talk about. But she came in, her 30-day card expired. I told her to get her another one, showed her the QR code, And she, I think she's like a federal contractor. She goes, I have to submit all my information again? Like, yeah. Like, I did it too. You know, I'm not telling you to do something that I didn't do myself. She goes, let me do some research on this ABCA place, and I'll just come back later. Because she didn't want to do the damn application again. And
You
to
got
certain
a lot of
people,
those federal workers.
to certain people, I can see how that seems shady. I gave you all my information, and at the bottom of that application, you told me within 20 days this will be reviewed and approved or denied. And it didn't happen in 30. And now this dude at the store, who I know really just wants to sell me some weed so he can pay his rent and his employees, he's telling me to just do it again. Now, of course, I'm not that kind of guy that I'm just going to tell you do something that's detrimental to yourself just so I can make a profit. But you don't know me. So how do you know that? So I can see how people get weirded out by it.
Right.
I mean, we got the people who come in there and they automatically know. They go straight to the QR code and they do it on their own. But
It's becoming a barrier.
I was getting 1 a day, then I was getting 2 a day. Now I'm getting like 4 or 5 a day. And it's crazy.
So essentially, the app is not doing their part in terms of turning their 30 days into
A permanent
card.
So a 2 year.
So therefore, they have to do it every 30 days that they,
Which becomes tiresome.
Got it. And that's not y'all.
Get on it, APCA. What are you
Responsibility.
doing?
And the other thing,
Get on your job.
The weird thing about these cards expiring is, if I give you a coupon and I say you can get $10 off a 3.5 at my shop, this coupon expires on January 26th. When do you think is the last day you can use this card?
January 26th?
Yes. These 30-day cards, if your card expires on July 13th, that's July 13th midnight, when July 13th started.
Oh, okay.
So your last day to use that card is July 12th.
Yeah.
People have come in, it's like, oh, my card expired today. I want to get a bunch of weed for the weekend. Whew. I saw the date on my card, so I ran in here and I'd be like,
It stopped at midnight.
it actually don't work like that.
Yeah.
And they're looking at me like I got 3 heads. I'm like, no, it's weird.
So it's not like it ends like close of business on the 13th.
11:59.
It ends
At the start of that day.
Oh, wow. And when y'all not even open, nobody's open really at that. Well, most places aren't open. Wow. That sucks.
It sounds like a lot of barriers, like a lot of things to overcome.
But how are the people handling it?
Honestly, most people are just like, no, it's DC government. I get it. Cool. And they just roll with it because they expect the inefficiency.
And again, it's a new industry, new licensees, this whole process. Everything is new.
Yeah.
The kinks are being worked out.
And some of it I get. APCA, I'm pretty sure, is shorthanded. Especially
now.
And then I know they were doing a hiring run, but you got to train all those folks. And you're training them on something that you just started, and you started it. Like, you didn't say 6 months from now, these are going to be the rules. I'm going to hire 12 people and teach them these rules that are going to hit in 6 months. It's like, I'm hiring you today and these rules are already in place. So I need you
catch up
to get on board.
Yeah.
And the guys, the people that we have in the office that are processing these things, hey, guess what we're doing now? They're going to submit, and 30 seconds later, I need you to get them this card. And then within 20 days, I need you to get them their 2 year. And maybe they didn't understand how many people were actually going to be willing to do it.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it was. They may have gotten overwhelmed.
Not them enforcing and shutting down all the stores and then turning around and being like, well,
We're not ready.
Nobody's going to do this, so we're just going to let it
Well, when
slide.
that enforcement started, there was only one enforcer.
What do you mean? There was only one.
There was one dude.
Oh,
that was literally walking around and physically shutting down these stores.
His job was that. His job was inspecting the new stores to make sure we did our security protocols.
Oh, wow.
Installed our security requirements.
You know they didn't.
He was bouncing between all of that. He was in charge of all of that.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So I think they were supposed to have hired more agents by now. But like I said, I've been kind of disconnected from that. But it's funny. we opened license, and I'm more disconnected from Africa
Now.
Than you were before,
because during the licensing, the application process and the approval process, like we were getting communications either directly or through our lawyer all the time, you know. But now it's like
crickets.
It's crickets, and
That's
I'm using the
unfortunate.
crickets in a good way. Like
Yeah.
I think we're fine.
We don't hear from you.
It's peace.
We're good.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not doing anything that should cause any alarms. So me not hearing from you is good for me right now. I don't need pointless inspections and petty bullshit from the DC government. You know, a little oversight.
Or
would be
intrusive
okay,
oversight, though.
Look,
Not intrusive.
That's what I said. A little oversight is good, though.
Right.
A little
Yeah.
oversight, you know, ain't nothing wrong with a little oversight. Because I just...
Checks and balances.
Just like I said, what the issues were when I was working at Tacoma versus the I-71, same with this. Like, I want him, I won't say him because I think it's a team now. I want APCA to ensure that myself and all of the other transition stores are all playing on the same level. You know,
Because what's the
Across the
point then
board.
of making you guys go through all those hurdles to become licensed? And if you're not,
like,
you're not going to take it seriously.
I don't want that store down the street selling some shit they grew in their basement, and, you know, and making 100% profit off that, and I can't do that. You know,
It's got to be fair across the board.
it's got to be fair.
Yeah.
and that's what we're looking for.
Well, we heard you just did your grand opening recently. Congratulations.
Thank you. Shout out to La Plaza Restaurant, not right next door to us, for letting us have their patio.
Oh, they let you guys use your and what do you guys? I guess what's next for MetroLeaf, and what can people do to keep you guys going strong?
Definitely stay on top of us. Check our website. Check our Instagram.
What's your Instagram and your website?
So with MetroLeaf DC. Website is MetroLeafDC.com. Instagram is MetroLeaf DC.
Okay.
But make sure you keep on top of us. We're also always trying to do fun stuff. We do happy hour every day from 4:20 to 6.
Love.
I change the menu every week. So for a 7-day period, there's a particular set of products that are happy hour special from 4:20 to 6. And then on Sunday, it changes. We do a thing called Sunday dinner, where every Sunday, all edibles are 10% off.
Hey,
You guys have seen Office Space? The movie Office Space? So
you haven't what? What? You haven't seen
Don't
Office
shame
Space?
me. Don't shame
this
me.
needs
Oh
to
my
be fixed.
gosh! Yes, it does.
Have you ever worked in the office?
Yes.
Then you need to see this movie.
Right.
Okay, I need to see
I can't
Office
believe you
Space.
haven't seen this.
So-
I only have one office job in my
I'm
life, but I will look
surprised.
at it.
And you
shook
probably
it.
still, like, it had a printer that halfway worked, right?
I didn't have to print things. I'm not an office girly.
Got you.
But I'll watch it. I'll
every
watch
Monday we have a sale called A Case of the Mondays.
Okay.
So all flour is 10% off.
Nice.
In the movie, this dude accused a dude of having a case of the Mondays because he looked all depressed.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you have a case of the Mondays, we have
It'll brighten your
a nice
Monday.
sativa strain for you, 10% off every Monday.
Okay.
That's cool.
I see why your customers keep coming back.
Right.
Yeah.
The strategy is there. And I was going to say too, is when, especially when you were talking about just people need to just focus on their territory. It's like, it was giving like, what do I call that movie? BMF type of vibes there. Like, you know, you're a legacy dealer just off of like that conversation. Like, look, guys, this is what I do. This is your quadrant. This is mine. Take care of your people. Take care of your stuff, and you're gonna be all right.
Everybody can eat.
Yeah.
Everybody can eat. Just, you know, just play nice. Everybody can eat. There's no reason for beef. We can all eat. There's enough out there.
Yeah. I love that.
Also want to let y'all listeners know that for the next 72 hours after this is aired, if they come to MetroLeaf and say Bud Brunch, they will receive 15% off their total order.
Y'all heard that right. Say it again.
For the first 72 hours after the airing of this podcast, go to MetroLeaf, 3919 14th Street, Northwest DC.
Nice.
Tell my bud tender, you are a listener of Bud Brunch.
The Bud with a D.
TBB.
Don't forget the.
The Bud Brunch.
And you will receive 15% off your total order.
I love. Thank you for taking
Now-
care of our buds.
Now, let me give a caveat to that.
Okay, 'cause I was
it's
gonna say, wait a minute.
If it's your first visit, to MetroLeaf, you will receive a 20% discount.
Okay.
And we will note your profile that we owe you a subsequent 15%.
Oh, then when you come back, you then get your other 15% for mentioning the Bud Brunch.
Okay, buds. Y'all heard that.
Right. Y'all go ahead and head over to now, does that also include happy hour?
Look, now you get greedy.
I just want to listen because you know somebody gonna come in there and ask.
So it depends on which product you buy from the happy hour.
Okay.
Now, the flour, I changed the discounts a little bit. So if the discount is already more, and there's a good chance the discount's already more than 15% for the happy hour, so there would be no need. You wouldn't want to waste it.
Right.
You know, it depends on what you buy.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what are the hours for MetroLeaf? When can people stop by?
Monday through Thursday, we are open from 1 to 8. Friday and Saturday, we are 1 to 9. And Sunday, we are 12 to 6.
7 days a week.
As business builds, those hours will expand. We'll start to open earlier.
And it's going to build.
Our doorbell, I can view it. It has a camera. I can view it from my phone. So, randomly at like 10:30 a.m.,
Somebody's
I'm at home and the phone's going off. I'm like, what? I'm like, the blinds are all pulled down.
They must be open.
Open up right now.
I have this barista. There's a coffee shop across the street, and there's a barista. He's become one of our regulars. He's a real cool dude. I'm a regular at the coffee shop. He's a regular at our shop. But
reciprocity.
Right.
He'll just give it a shot because he knows that I'm randomly in there super early.
So he's gonna try.
The store phone may ring at like 10:45, or he'll ring the doorbell. And when I see him, I'm like, bro, I'm sitting on my couch drinking my morning coffee, and I'm watching you in front of my store. Like, what you doing? Or he'll come in like, man, I be calling here all morning. I was like, but we open at 1. That's not the morning. Like, why you calling in the morning?
Right.
He's trying to tell you something.
We'll definitely start to open earlier as business builds. The hours are tracing when the people are coming. Our neighborhood is full of people who are gone at like 10 a.m.
Yeah.
They've gone to work. So we're there on their lunch break, and then we're there before they go in the house to relax after work.
Perfect.
Hey.
And we deliver all across the city. We also have pickup. So if you go to metroleaf.dc.com, you can order delivery or pickup.
You guys heard it right here on the Bud Brunch. MetroLeaf, thank you so much, Charles, for joining us today. Thanks for sharing your story. Thanks for educating and informing people about, what that change looks like from going to I-71 to now into this new era of I-71. And we're so excited to see how everything evolves, and we look forward to supporting MetroLeaf in the process. But we're going to wrap up this interview, but we can't wrap up our time with you, Charles, until we hit our puff or pass.
Yes.
Let's get into it.
All right.
All right, y'all, it's time for one of my favorite segments, Puff or Pass. This is where I hit our guests with a few tough choices, and they've got to let us know which one are you puffing on and which one are you passing to the left. Some of these are real tough. It's not always easy. So are you ready, Charles?
I'm ready.
All right, we'll start off with a simple one. Puff or pass, group sesh or solo sesh?
Group sesh, puff.
Group sesh. So you like to pass to the left. You like to be amongst your people.
Yeah, I like to talk.
Okay, I can
the
tell.
shit.
Shoot the shit. All right. Puff or pass, music while high or movies while high?
Movies while high, puff.
Movies while high. Is there
Music pass.
Is there a favorite movie that you have that you like to watch while you're lifted?
There's not. Honestly, I'm one of those people who don't like to watch most movies twice.
Okay.
Yeah, so normally if I'm watching a movie or something,
It's always something new. Okay.
Yeah.
Have you seen that new Tyler Perry Straw movie that everybody's talking about?
So I've avoided it like the plague. But I was at the barbershop this morning, and my barber told me that if I ever watch the Tyler Perry movie, this would be the one.
Okay, I agree. I loved it.
So
It was
I'm probably
great.
going to watch it this weekend. And I like Taraji, so I'll support her.
Yeah, she's a Washington.
And I'm not one of those people that have something against Tyler Perry, but I just think a lot of his productions are whack as shit. And that's not a personal attack. I know it sounds like it is one. But you know what I'm talking about, the screwed up wigs and all of that stuff. Like,
he's got a rep. He has a reputation.
you know what I mean? And I'm like, when I'm watching a movie, that's the type of stuff I obsess and focus on.
Okay.
So I can't watch his movies.
It's too much for you.
But
okay.
but I'm gonna watch Straw this weekend.
Okay, cool. All right, puff or pass? Flour or edibles?
Oh, flour, puff for sure.
Okay.
Edibles have their space. But
Nothing like the raw
it's
flour.
nothing like the flour.
Nothing like the flour. All right, puff or pass? Dispensary owner or dispensary manager? I'm sure there's positives and negatives to both.
Well, currently I'm both.
So you're doing both jobs.
I would say puff, dispensary owner.
Dispensary owner.
It's a lot better, and it's a lot more motivating, and it's more satisfaction in working your ass off for yourself.
Your own company.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. And the final one, puff or pass, since you're such a big sports fan, watching the game at home from the comfort of your home or catching it courtside?
Home, puff.
Really?
Hell yeah. So I used to have Redskins season tickets. I used to have Wizards season tickets. Once November hit, I had no interest in going to the Redskins games anymore because it was cold as shit outside.
Okay.
The Wizards played 41 home games. Like, what the fuck?
It was a lot.
It was a lot. But I mean, even you can add in courtside, or you can add in going to my friend's house or my family's house. Like they get on me every football season because they're like, dude, everybody's here but you.
Yeah.
But I'm like, there's nothing like my couch.
You want to be home.
It's nothing like my couch. Like I put everything in my basement with the sole intention of knowing that everything that entertains me
is there.
Is in there.
That's your man cave.
It's my man cave.
That's right.
Everything I need is there. I have whiskey and scotch. I got weed. I have edibles. I have concentrates. I have dabbing machines. Anything I want to do, everything's in that basement. My PlayStation's in there.
Yeah.
I'm good.
You're good to go.
Yeah. And you spend a lot on the TV. You want to watch it during football season.
So bump the courtside, regardless of what y'all got to say. He's going to stay at home.
It's the best view. There's no view better than your couch.
Okay, well, that was puff or pass, where there are no wrong answers, just real ones. And you definitely passed the vibe check, Charles.
Sweet.
So, Lucia, I see that your candy jar is empty over there. How are you feeling after that easy day gummy that MetroLeaf dispensary blessed us with?
Well, after such a hot day, I am having an easy day now. Things have brightened up, and I feel like I can do a lot.
That's what it was designed
I feel
for.
energized.
Perfect.
I feel like, I can focus on putting together our Can a Cocktail demo.
Yes.
That's going to be happening on Friday, July 18th at 6:30 p.m. at the Culinary Pavilion at NCF.
Nice.
Yeah.
You're focused. You're ready.
I'm focused. I'm ready to go. And, again, the taste was like crazy. It was so good.
Yeah.
I'm a big gummy person. I'm big on like the textures of a gummy. So the texture was just right. It had a good solid shape, but, a nice gummy chew to it. The flavors was definitely there, but it wasn't it wasn't overbearing with the sweetness.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing that I like. And that's why my candy jar is empty, because it was good.
Well, I love it. Everybody will be able to enjoy it because it is gluten-free and vegan-friendly too.
Yeah, I love that for that. So yeah, definitely a great thing to have and share, and probably a good thing to grab when you head over to NCF.
Absolutely. So with all of that in mind, how many cheers are we giving this Easy Day gummy?
Well, since Easy Day had me having a good day, and it was absolutely delicious with a reasonable dosage, I would definitely give this one 5 stars. And it came from MetroLeaf, so.
Are we giving it 5 stars or 5 cheers?
I will definitely give that 5 cheers.
So it did get you a little lit because we've been doing cheers all season.
I was like, it's a movie now. 5 stars.
Nice.
Yes, I definitely feel like I am in a movie. So 5 stars to Easy Day.
I'm your co-host Lucia.
And I'm your co-host Ashley.
And come vibe with the Bud Brunch. Pour up, roll up, let's talk.
You know, I think having Charles as our last interview sit-down guest was a great idea because he really rounded out what I-71 story looked like.
For sure.
Being involved in the legal dispensary in the beginning. Advocating in the beginning, working at the legal dispensary, leaving there, starting his own I-71 gift shop, to then now owning his own legal dispensary.
He went through the whole spectrum,
Right.
like from start to finish. It was an interesting journey. And you know what? I loved how he talked about his experience, you know, in sales and different things before.
Right.
Because it shows how your existing skills can be transferable
translate out.
in the cannabis industry.
Absolutely.
So I
So-
hope you guys caught that in the interview.
Took some notes, and if you didn't, always rewind back and listen to listen and grab those nuggets, y'all, because these are people that really just do the mud.
If you've listened
Through
to
the
all
trenches.
the episodes, this is a masterclass.
Right.
It's a masterclass on how to be
survive.
successful and survive.
The cannabis space and
It's-
all the changes and all
hard.
the shit that you have to go through
Yeah.
to just be great.
Yeah.
And do something that you enjoy doing, because there's definitely passion behind what he was talking about, and even saying like, hey, you know, there was a point where money was not coming in, but I showed up.
And that's so important, especially for the longevity of being a business owner, because it's not always going to be hand over fist cash.
No, but the fact that he is extending an offer to all of our buds was what I thought was really dope and an awesome way to cap off, or not cap off, but as we're getting close to the end of the season, it's just a wonderful way to celebrate us, because
Yeah.
we know our buds love to indulge
And get a little discount, too.
in the process. So make sure you head over to MetroLeaf, and when you get there, mention,
The Bud Brunch,
and you'll get 15% off your purchase.
which is nice. And if you're a new customer, you can save your 20% off for your next visit.
So it's like 2 discounts in one.
Back to back.
Another reason to go to MetroLeaf, and look, get an easy day while you're there too, because
I know you love that easy day. That gummy. Well, our next episode is our final episode
of season 1.
of season 1. Yes, it is our finale of the Bud Brunch. But this is nice because we are literally making history. We're doing a live recording at the National Cannabis Festival. It's going to be on Saturday, July 19th at 2:30 p.m. in the Culture Pavilion. So get your tickets to NCF. I mean, this is a real-time recording with a live audience. And yes, we are the first podcast to ever record an episode from an NCF stage. This isn't just another episode, it's a whole experience. We're bringing all of your favorite segments to the stage. There will be trivia, games, surprises, and we're taking questions directly from the audience. We're tapping in with some badass women operators who are leading the charge in DC's new cannabis era. From legal to license, they're running the show, and you'll get to hear their stories firsthand. We want all our buds to show up and show out for this one. Come be a part of the Bud Brunch podcast experience live and in the flesh. The episode will drop the Tuesday after NCF, but if you're in the room, you'll be a part of something special. Let's make history together. That's it for this sesh, y'all.
I'm your co-host, Lucia.
And I'm your co-host, Ashley.
And this is the Bud Brunch, where we do it
For the culture,
for the community,
for the conversation.
Until next time,
bye.
ready to be a bud?
You know you want to.
Subscribe to the Bud Brunch on YouTube and Spotify, and let's brunch and blaze together.
Cheers.
This episode of the Bud Brunch was hosted and produced by Ashley Stafford and Lucia Nyankale. Special thanks to DC Scrogger for donating the equipment that helps bring our voices to you. Music for this episode is licensed and used with permission. You can find those credits in the caption. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next time.